Welcome, beautiful, eclectic-minded mutants of the world. Hey, how's that sound? That could be my new intro. I think I get rid of the word "and" or something like that, or just blend it in. So today could very well be close enough to a perfect day. At my favorite rock. Um, just finished listening to some Alan Watts that for some reason my downloaded version that I always never catch to the end. The reason why I don't get to the end is because it cuts off. But so Alan Watts, what is reality was sort of his compliment to the idealism. Actually mentions the word idealism in the what is reality. So I'm going to try to summarize in my words what I believe is my reality, or what I believe to be uh, uh, reality, just based on what I've read and stuff like that. And um, I mean, I've gotten a lot of like quantum physics into me, and a lot of like consciousness and time and space and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So just trying to summarize it again, like I mentioned yesterday. Sort of like, do I have it all? Is there any reason to keep on going? Sort of thing. Like, no, I'll keep on finding more. Sort of thing. But so it's essentially, and I just again elaborating back on yesterday. Oh, hang on a second. Tease. Okay, that's what's going to come. I was going to talk first about my first morning back, because some people out there in the world, may be curious about that. So last night, for the first time in nearly 4 months, I set my alarm clock for 6 o'clock, and for the first time in probably nearly 4 months, I woke up in the middle of the night from a sound sleep and couldn't get back to sleep again for a good 2 to 3 hours. So I think I fell back to. So this was probably from about 1:23 to about almost 4. I don't think I remember seeing 4 o'clock on the clock, but I remember seeing the late threes or something like that. So, but I did fall asleep, and the alarm clock went off, and I woke up, and I was tired. Not cranky at all, but sort of like, eyes half open, eyes half closed, sort of thing. Dog's excited to go to the bathroom and have food. Cat is on my chair, sees me ready for breakfast, sort of thing. So when I make the coffee and decide, yep, I'm gonna make toast as well. And yeah, so that's all going well, sort of, and then I get to the computer room, and I switch keyboards from my main computer to the work computer, because the work computer keyboard is all sticky. I spilled water. Shh, don't tell anybody. So there's some keys that are. So anyway, so I switch over, and then I hook up the monitors, and I thought for sure that I lost one of the monitors, because it went all like yellow and blue and purple and black and green and all those funky colors when you put a magnet towards it, right? So, but no, it came back to life. I thought I lost the other monitor as well. So and the password didn't work. So at that point, I thought for a brief moment, sort of like, fuck it, I'm gonna like send a text to my boss, or like, yep, sorry, not coming in. That's not gonna happen, right? So, well, that did not happen. I phone support left a message regarding the password to get a reset. I sent a text to my boss stating, uh, waiting for support to get back to you regarding password. And she says, okay, thanks, Dennis. I get in. And I also took an anti-anxiety medication this morning, um, just because, like, I probably didn't have to, but I wanted to, just so that it was sure that this morning, right? Because I didn't want to sort of like second guess myself, and then like, sort of like, oh man, maybe because it takes a while for it to kick in, sort of thing. So by the time I like talked with my boss, sort of thing, on the Teams, whatever audio sort of thing. I didn't have my headphones connected, and I left them unconnected. Um, I said sort of like, what my my kind of requests are, just to, ease in sort of thing. And, she sort of fought back a little bit, but she, did make concessions, and she did give, so she's very cooperative. She really wants it to work, right? Um, which is good because, and I was essentially giving that impression as well. Sort of like, what, let's give it a shot, sort of thing, Um, everybody at work, like, it was like I didn't leave, sort of thing, right? I put like, good morning, everyone, right, with a smiley face, like as I always do, right? And everybody says, good morning. So they're like, welcome back, right? And it's sort of like, and then I like even like, peek back to yesterday, because that's when essentially she let everybody know was yesterday afternoon, right? So I guess they caught everybody off by surprise, sort of thing. And so like, whoa, Dennis is back, right? So that kind of felt good, sort of thing. As being antisocial, I don't hate people. I just don't like being around people. And part of it as well is that I'm only gonna be around here for another year, which I did tell my boss, and she says, "Really, only a year? Yeah, next June." Oh, that's right, because she asked me about my license, if I was going to renew my license, right? Which I don't really need for this job, and I'm only going to be around for another year, right? Didn't want to worry about it, so I've all found that. So where was I going with this? Right. So yeah, so she, we're she mentioned about the chats, that I can mute them so I don't hear them. I thought, hey, that's kind of cool. I like that, right? So, and then there's this other thing that I might try to just be the backup, and as opposed to not doing it ever. Same with this other activity. I want to try to keep a routine. So when I said like a micro break, the letter from the insurance company says make sure to take micro breaks, sort of thing. So so I've got an alarm. So I mean, I'm always getting up and going to the bathroom, or like I like squirrel, so often sort of. But it's when squirrel leads to like 10 or 15 minutes away from your desk that they have an issue with. So anyways, that didn't happen today. I took my microwaves. I got my alarm set for every hour. So at 7:30, take a break. 8:30, coffee break, right? So that's 15 minutes, right? That's when, right? I don't know what I'm going to do with that, because that would maybe a snack of some sort, like maybe an apple or banana. I don't know what I did today for those 15 minutes. And then 9:30, another micro break. So, just get up and just do something. I can't remember if I did. And then 10:30, done, right? So when I go back next week, my lunch would be at 11 o'clock, and then from 11 to 11:30, then a break, and then onwards to get me through the rest of the day, right? Take a little bit things, right? There's only what did I calculate in a 40-hour week? Although it's not 30, there's only 144,000 seconds in a week, sort of thing. So I've got it. Is it 440? Right? I mean, I know over the next year, I think I calculated that was like 72 million seconds left that I have left in the next 50 weeks, right? No time at all. But if I take it in small chunks, right? And that's sort of like the idea. Obviously, I'm not going to take it in sort of like, how many, in a second by second, but maybe, at times I can and do it in minute by minute. When I first started in processing, and this is going on way too long, I'm going to go back to the other side. But when I first started in processing, it was like to do with like the process of to do one activity, which is like to invoice and like process a renewal sort of thing, or cancellation, or etc. It's different in process than it was in attaching. Takes roughly about 2 to 3 minutes, right? So I would keep track, like 1, 2, 3, and maybe I could do that with emails too, even though I don't know. Didn't do it in emails, but I did it with processing. Anyway, see, so I'm brainstorming. I'm coming to the realization, sort of like, I mean, as much as I think it's everybody, right? Because that's what the autistic person thinks, is that it's not me. Well, I mean, the way it is me, I'm from another planet, right? Wrong planet. Big website about autism, right? People they have got like forums and stuff like that, and that's what I thought when I thought. I'm not adopted. I'm pretty sure I'm not adopted, but I could be an alien. So anyways, so actually this is a good segue to go back to my belief sort of thing, and what I believe is yeah. Um, so back to, like I said, ideas, which are thoughts, and spirit, and spirit is consciousness. Okay, so and then so with Alan Watts, he's talking about the Big Bang. Okay, so everything was like one infinite little tiny like dot sort of thing of like of what, like mass or whatever, right? And then exploded, right? And we're right at the outskirts. He used the ink spot. That's an awesome analogy, the ink spot, right? So we're so we're like these little droplets of ink on the outer boundaries of the universe, and the idea is that there's this attractor, there's this force that we're all going to go back, and we're all going to, like, this ink is all going to come back together into one little whatever sort of thing, right? But the issue is that at the same time that we're attracting, we're continuing to expand and getting further and further away, and like the balloon sort of thing, right? There's more and more space, so even though we're contracting, we're getting farther away. It's really like I saw it, like Anton had a video regarding the simulation of the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxy, of how even though like everything is getting farther away, we're getting closer and closer, so the galaxies are going to merge, and then eventually, so but and then the thing is that the universe is expanding faster than the speed of light. Nothing can go faster than the speed of light. Consciousness. But what is consciousness, right? Consciousness is spirit. Consciousness is what possibly, like made the Big Bang go Big Bang, right? And sort of like maybe just a little like of a bit of like, I don't know. Okay, and then so, but this is where it's kind of okay, like everything is consciousness, that, and that or the source of everything, but what does everything, like the trees are alive, right? Animals are alive, right? Humans are alive. Okay, I remember reading something recently that you can sign language with gorillas or apes or something like that, but the one thing that they don't do is they don't ask a question. So they'll just communicate with you. So they'll respond to you. And then this all goes back to to a lot of things, actually. I like humans, like not all humans are conscious in the way that others are conscious. And I think that they're so, and it's all to do with evolving and stuff like that, and it's just maybe activating like DNAs and stuff like that, right? Because we're all like different cells, and our cells are expanding, and our DNA are evolving, like to the point where we ourselves might be splitting into, dare I say, 2 different species. I mean, we probably are a hybrid of about, I don't know, like 5 or 6 are different, right? I mean, you got the Neanderthals, you got the different types of hominins, and all the different that sort of merged into what we call Homo sapiens, right? And I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just going to keep on going. So hopefully you're understanding, having fun with it. In Greek times or something like that, where the Iliad or something like that, or Homer. There are people that appear that that up until then, or just be prior to then, that people weren't the people were just acting like we're animals, like they had instincts, they just did everything because, right? And they didn't question anything, and just everybody got along, and everybody did everything because that's what everybody did. Right. And at some point, I think it's probably maybe around the last Younger Driver period, where, and actually Wi-Fi's made an episode regarding a mushroom or something like that. I don't know. About how, right, and that, that, and some people say maybe even 200,000 years ago or something like that. Maybe that's when it started, but it didn't really really fully get fully activated and spread everywhere until about like maybe 12,000 years ago, or the younger draft. And what I mean by that is that people are aware. People are aware that they can make decisions. So yeah, I'm almost finished for this, because it's probably like, how long's the video? 15 minutes long, not bad. Okay, so and what I'm saying today is that there are some people that still, they don't evolve throughout their lives to being aware. So they're just, as Alan Watts puts, just fully automatic. They just keep on, right? Because we're programmed from birth to be robots, essentially. We're programmed to be like everybody else. We're programmed to, go through 12 years of hell being school, and then another 50 years of hell being work, until you get to retire and hopefully have a few years where you can enjoy life. Figure it out, or then there's people like me that pretty much since birth, and I think I was born, and again, this could be to do with the neurodivergent, the autistic, the different, the brain chemistry sort of thing. But I was born that, okay, so every child has imagination. Everybody, then they grow up, right? Peter Pan syndrome, right? You grew up, right? But they still have imagination. They still have visualization. They still have, they daydream, and if they close their eyes, they can see a red apple. If they want to recall something that happened, 3 months ago that was momentous, say, they went swimming with their friends, and they can remember every single detail, sort of thing, right? That's cool, right? But it's, I think it's all part of the program, maybe, because for me, and again, this is just me, I'm just talking, I know nothing, right? I live in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking to a whole bunch of trees. The trees are awesome, though. It's so beautiful here. It's probably about like 23, 24 degrees, maybe 25, so about 75 sort of thing, and a little breeze, and I should drink water here. I'll get a drink of water, and then I'll finish. So what I'm saying, in conclusion, I've drifted. I don't know how far I drifted. I'm not sure where I'm coming back to, but what I want to pretty much, I guess, conclude with is that, okay, so everything, all matter, everything is not you, right? Is not, so even everything inside you, the consciousness, what your ideas, your thoughts, what is there's part of it, I think, is part of it is just everything that you've grown up and everything that's been told to you. But there's another part, and I guess the subconscious, or the collective conscious, or something like that comes in every once in a while and says, "What about this?" Or "Here we are, how about this?" And the classic example of mine is I had a thought that just came in just out of nowhere, and sort of like thought exchange in between people is instantaneous, like no matter where you are. If you think of something, and I remember a friend of mine making a similar comment like within a week or something like that, and it's sort of like, okay, that's synchronicity. But what it is as well is that we're almost on the same wavelength, that that the thought that was going through him was going through me almost at the same time, sort of thing. I don't know, it was pretty funky. But okay, well, I'm finally finishing what I have to say. So everything is conscious. God, like everything, so if it's God, it's source consciousness, everything, it permeates everywhere. It's in every single cell, right? Every little rock, everything, like in the entire universe. Except that there are parts of humans, and humans alone, but not all humans, and then this is a soul or the spirit, that they believe they have free will, and they believe that they have control of their destiny, and they believe that they can change things at any time. They believe that that they are, yeah, that they are essentially like one resource, that they are infinite, and that is just a body that will grow old. I'm gonna try to see how long I can last, but you know, one day I will leave this body. Well, the the consciousness, the whatever, and I will go somewhere else, and I will, yeah. So, and yeah, there's so much more, but and I really need to write a book. But I want to write it in the form of a of a story back along the ages, because everything is repeated, and there's cycles and stuff like that, and it's to do with the planets and the stars, like like the difference between 1968 and 2025 is 57 years. There's some sort of cycle with the moon that goes back or goes around every 56 or 57 years to do with the eclipses. And then there's the 23, that's the full sun cycle, is 23, approximately 23. It's like approximately 11 and a half every, right? So there's, right, patterns everywhere, patterns, cycles. Yep. Anyways, I could go on forever, but I'm gonna the battery's gonna die, and I need to go back home anyway. So yeah, we'll end it like that. Stay tuned.